Morning students. Today we are going to start the new chapter number 2, physical and chemical changes. Change is a law of nature. Changes occur always and almost everywhere in nature. Everything in this universe undergoes a change. Rusting of iron, curdling of milk, a seed growing into plant, a day changing into night are all examples of changes. Changes can be classified as physical change and chemical change. Physical change. A physical change is a temporary change which changes the physical appearance of a substance without changing its chemical composition. In a physical change, the physical properties of a substance such as color, shape, size, and state might change, but no new substance is formed. For example, when ice cubes melt, water is formed. There is a change in the state and shape of ice cubes, but the chemical composition does not change and no new substance is formed. Thus, melting of ice cubes is a physical change. Physical changes are usually reversible, but sometimes irreversible. For example, melting of wax, dissolution of salt or sugar in water, and stretching of a rubber band are physical changes which are reversible. However, cutting vegetables into small pieces is a physical change which is irreversible. Some other examples of a physical change are glowing of an electric bulb, heating of an iron rod, evaporation of water, drying of clothes, and breaking of glass. Characteristics of a physical change. Physical change has following characteristics. It is a temporary change which is sometimes irreversible. Chemical composition and properties of the substance remain unchanged. There may be a change in shape, size, state, color, or smell of a substance undergoing a physical change. No new substance is formed in a physical change. There may or may not be any exchange of energy during a physical change. Chemical change. It is a permanent change in which new substance having different composition and properties from those of the original substance is formed. A chemical change is usually irreversible. For example, when sugar is burnt for a long time, it turns into a black substance. The black substance does not have the properties of sugar. It is not sweet in taste. The black substance formed is carbon. Thus, we say that the burning of sugar is a chemical change which is permanent and irreversible. Other examples of chemical changes include curdling of milk, in which chemical properties of milk changes, burning of paper, which changes into ash and cannot be converted back to paper, rusting of iron, ripening of fruits, burning of fuels, boiling an egg, respiration in living organisms, germination of seeds, and blackening of silver ornaments. Characteristics of a chemical change. The characteristics of chemical change are as follows. A chemical change is a permanent change and cannot be reversed easily. One or more new substances are formed in a chemical change. The composition and properties of the original substances changes during the chemical change. Large amount of heat is either absorbed or released in the form of heat or light. There is usually a change in the mass of the initial substance. Burning of a candle is an example where both physical and chemical changes occur simultaneously. When the candle burns, its wax melts. When the melted wax drops on the floor or table, it solidifies again. This is a physical change. Simultaneously, some of the wax burns with the flame and turns into vapor, forming two new substances, carbon dioxide and water vapor. This is a chemical change. Differences between physical and chemical changes. No new substance is formed in a physical change. Chemical change, new substances formed. Physical change, no change in the chemical composition of the substance. Chemical change, change in the chemical composition of the substance takes place. Physical change, it is generally reversible but sometimes irreversible. Chemical change, it is generally irreversible. Physical change is a temporary change. Chemical change is a permanent change. In some physical changes, energy may be absorbed or released in small amounts. In most chemical changes, energy is either absorbed or released in large amounts. Now we will do some activities to show that the changes are physical or chemical. So here the material required are sugar, a beaker, water, sheet of paper, a pair of tongs, china dish and Bunsen burner. The procedure for it is as follows. We dissolve 1 teaspoon of sugar in a beaker of water. Heat this solution in a china dish until all the water evaporates. We will observe that a white powder is left behind in the china dish, which is sweet in taste. Next activity is of burning of paper. Hold a sheet of paper using a pair of tongs and bring it near the flame such that it starts burning. Wait for a few minutes till the paper burns completely. We will observe that the black color residue known as ash is left behind after the paper burns completely. So we can conclude from both the activities that in the first activity, the white powder left in the china dish is sugar, which we have dissolved in the water. Since the change is irreversible and no new substance is formed in the process, dissolution of sugar in water is a physical change. In the second activity, that is burning of paper, the ash is the new product formed and cannot be converted to the original paper. Thus, burning of paper is the. Now we will do an activity to show that a new compound is formed in a chemical chain. For this, the materials required are iron fillings, sulfur powder, carbon disulfide, watch glass, a magnet, test tube, porcelain dish and a Bunsen burner. First, we mix the iron fillings and sulfur powder in a watch glass and bring a magnet near the mixture. We will observe that iron fillings are attracted to the magnet but sulfur powder is not. Now we will put the mixture of iron fillings and sulfur powder in a test tube and add carbon disulfide to it. We will observe that sulfur powder gets dissolved in the carbon disulfide but iron fillings do not dissolve. Now we take the mixture of iron fillings and sulfur in a porcelain dish and heat it for some time on a Bunsen burner. On heating, a grey mass will be formed. Let it cool for some time. Now bring the magnet bar near the grey mass. We will observe that the grey mass does not get attracted to the magnet. This grey mass is a new compound called iron sulfide. On heating the mixture, iron fillings and sulfur powder lose their properties and a new compound is formed having new properties, which is iron sulfide. Thus, it is a chemical change. Thank you.